All right, guys, first off, I have to say big thanks to my good friend in Frisco. You know who you are, sharing with me his Seiko Turtle collection. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know for a fact I don't have all of the turtles, but this was really close to the more modern turtle. So I figured I'd share it with you guys while I had the opportunity. I only have a short amount of time with these, so here we go. I know I'm missing some, but I have some here that some people have never even seen before, let alone all of them together at the same time. So I'm not going to be in chronological order here, and I'm also not going to be able to tell you all of the part numbers, or, you know what, it would just take too long to even tell the part numbers. So I'm just going to kind of show you, and we'll just take a quick look at them. This is more for like the Seiko Turtle fans. You know, if you are obsessed with them, you collect them, whatever. It's just, I think this video would be really cool to see them all in one spot. So we started off with the blue on blue. This is like when Seiko first reintroduced the turtle. They did the blue on blue and they did the black on black. That was like in the beginning, right? They did some other colorways like this one where I had like a black dial with the Pepsi. They even did one right here. So I think these were fairly close after the original introduction. They had basically a Coke and a Pepsi. So the Coke actually had a red minute hand, so that was getting a little bit more creative and maybe a little bit of a precursor to the very much iconic Patty variant. So with the first gen Patty variant right here, and you can see there was the original release of the Patty way back when, and those were very sought after. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be the more vibrant blue one. I can't remember which one it was. And then later they like brought it back out because it was a special edition as indicated on the case back. You'll see it'll say, yeah, down in the bottom it'll say special edition, not limited edition. So that means they can bring it back out if they want. Well, the sales were so good on it, they did just that. They brought it back, but it was a little bit different. So the blue is a little bit different, you can see. So I think that's both variants, is the original one and then the second release one. And then we had some really fun colorways, like this one. It's a really beautiful green with a little pop of yellow with the seconds hand and the cardinal positions of the chapter ring. And I believe, was this? Yeah, this was a limited, so they only made 3,500 of these. Whatever the part number is, you guys will know. Like if you want to chime in, you know, down below. This is one of my favorites. As well as, actually, it's one of Bruce Williams. If you follow his channel, too, this is one of his favorites, the SRPC 23. I do remember that one for some reason, the anthracite dial. And they were kind of rare. They came out for a little bit. You thought you could just get them anytime, and then poof, it was gone. It wasn't a special or limited edition. They just kind of disappeared. So that one's actually fairly rare, especially for not being a special or limited edition. This one's really fun. I remember dismantling one of these. I was kind of known for like buying slightly rare turtles or just really good dials. The dials on the turtles were just fantastic when they were pushing them out. And then that pop of yellow with the minutes hand, very cool. And again, I don't think this is, it doesn't indicate limited or special on this one. So, but again, sometimes it doesn't have to be limited to be rare. And I'll show you that on some other models, the SRPC 23, the Nemo, like even this one, I think, wasn't this called the Blue Lagoon or something like that? And there might have been, even some of these, there might have been a JDM variant part number as well as a USDM part number. This one is a limited edition. Does it have a number though? It just says limited and then a serial number. So I don't see an actual number anywhere. So I don't know how many they made, but you know, classic Seiko, you know, they'll do limited editions and then doing pretty high runs. I'm pretty sure this one was a SRPC 44 or something like that, the gold one. And a lot of people would buy like an aftermarket bracelet, the gold bracelet, and really like bling it out. This is a pretty cool model. And if I'm not mistaken, these are slightly hard to get. I can't remember. It's been so long and so many watches have gone by. It's hard to keep up with all of them. This was one that I really liked, this release. Kind of had like that warm creamy tone on the markers and then that pop of orange just a more standard orange on the minute hand. This was kind of like the night version one. They did a whole series. They did Seiko. They did multiple models in this colorway, as well as some of these other colorways. They've done that. So also a limited edition. I'm wearing my one and only Seiko Turtle for this video. This was a beautiful gradient dial they did. I don't know if I have, we'll see when we go. Yeah, we do have some of them here. Some of them they did some like, I don't think they were necessarily Easter eggs, but you could see like different characters on the dial, or the balance on the seconds hand was a little different. But these are all regular turtles. There will be some king turtles in this mix. I'm just going to keep going left to right, actually. So right here is one of the earlier king turtles and one of the best ones out there as far as I'm concerned. You did get, in the early days, you got sapphire crystal, you got the ceramic bezel insert, but you had that candy bar day-date magnifier there, and some people didn't like it. So, but still beautiful dials. You can see the balance on the seconds hand is a little bit different on this one. And again, special edition they went with on this one. So not limited, but special. Different bezel altogether, actually. So if you look at the more classic ones, for example, this guy here, if you look at the bezels, they're completely different. Like the king turtles had, I think, a more like refined machine look to it. So that's pretty cool. Here's the Nemo one. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think the only orange dial turtle to my knowledge. Is there another one? Chime in if you know. There might be another orange one, but, and it's not the flat orange that I traditionally like on the Monster or even the Doxa and stuff like that. This one has quite a bit of shimmer to it. And then it has that blue and orange aluminum bezel insert. And this was a limited edition indeed. So that's that one. And then we have a couple more king turtles. This one, everyone kind of called it like the grenade because it had that waffle pattern on the dial, and it was definitely OD green. Very cool model for sure. We have some very hard to get limited edition models here. Again, that patterned dial. You have the gold bezel, colored ceramic bezel insert, and this one definitely is a limited edition, and it is numbered. There's only 1,000 of these, so pretty rare when it comes to the Seiko world. We have some more rare ones here, like for example this one. I didn't even know this one existed, quite frankly, until I was able to handle this collection. But a black case, gold bezel, contrasting with that red. The red and gold looks really good. I grew up in an era where the BMX bikes and freestyle bikes were really big. This colorway right here, I would have easily seen on some of those freestyle bikes. So you have kind of like a, it is a true white, but it has a little bit of something going on there. Not quite pearl, but I feel like, it's pretty much a flat white. But the markers are framed in red. You have that red framed minute hand. And this one definitely is a limited edition of only 500. So crazy rare on that guy when it comes to Seiko. Here's another green dial one. Again, I don't know anything about this one. So it has like a white chapter and aluminum bezel insert, and then a greenish dial. So again, limited edition, 1200. So also pretty rare. Probably why I have not heard of it. So pretty cool model. I know this one's rare, and I think it has a funky name, does it not? The Siamese Fighting Fish or something? I think they made 1,500 of these, but check out the dial. And then blue framed minute hour hand and a red seconds hand, red aluminum bezel insert. And then that crazy dial, again, limited edition. Pretty sure they made 1,500 of these. Yeah, 1,500. So those are 3 super rare. Then we can get back into some normal ones. Like I have duplicates of actually some of these, but I happen to grab 2 of these. These are, again, if you're looking at the Seiko Turtle, you can go with the timeless, earlier ones, but I really recommend going with the King Turtles if you're gonna like actually wear it. because that ceramic with the sapphire. And then that grenade pattern on there is pretty cool. So visually, it looks really nice. It doesn't have that pop that a lot of these dials have, but it looks really nice. Here's another one that's, they did some pretty fun stuff with the dial. You can see in there, there's like, what are they, like manta ray or something on the dial, kind of shadowed in there. And then they have that gradient dial. And this is the King series, so it has the sapphire with the ceramic. It is a special edition. They did this crackle edition. They did a few different colorways of this one. Mine is mine? Yeah, mine's the crackle one too. So they did the blue, the green, and was there one more? I think there was one more. And it might be in this lot somewhere. I just dug out what I could find, guys. I know there's more turtles. There's even a Zimby or two that isn't here, I think. But again, these, I think, were, in my mind, my favorite turtles because you got all of the best things about the turtle as well as it being a king. So I had the ceramic with sapphire, but gone is the candy bar date magnifier. So and these were all special edition ones. These ones with like the kind of crackle on it, look to it. We have this guy here, really beautiful green colorway, again with a little bit of pop of yellow. Was this, doesn't say limited or special. So really cool colorway though. I'm pretty sure I dismantled one of these to build like an SKX mod or something. I know it was a silly time frame of the channel for sure. Here's another beautiful one, black case, kind of a, not as, well, it's basically the gold color for the bezel and crown, as well as the handset is framed in that, and then you have that really rich green. And this one is a limited edition as well. So, and again, only 500. So this one's crazy rare. When you have a Seiko with 500 as the limited edition numbered, that's really low. I mean, 1500 is really low when it comes to Seiko. When they do like 6500, sure, it's limited. I get it. But not like these, man. These are like wicked. So we're not done. We have more here, so let's keep going. This one, I guess technically is orange, but it has that like burnt, it like gradients out to like the dark, so it's not my favorite, but it is orange nonetheless. King as well, so you have the date magnifier, sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, and it is also a limited edition. How many did they make of this one? 1,991. So that's pretty low still for Seiko. So that one's really cool. We have this one here. Again, it is that King Turtle, very similar to this one, but you can see just coating the case, the bezel, and going with the creamier tones like on the Ninja one or whatever. Not quite as warm. Just mixing it up. You know, they just mix and match, and it's not like they were using spare parts, but they mixed and match. And it is a limited edition, 1,400 of these made. So I'm not super familiar with that one either. There's so many really cool limited ones. A lot of them were Thailand releases. Here's like a really bright silver dial one with the orange bezel insert. Limited edition, 2018 made of these. I've seen that one before. And then I think final of this batch is this guy here, really cool model. I know I've done one of these before. Kind of a, not really orange yellow, it's almost a Forsythia type minute hand, but then it has that really cool green, deep green dial. And again, this one should be a limited edition, only 1,800 of these made. So an insane lineup of turtles, guys. And pretty spectacular to have these all in one place. I'm sure there's more in this batch, like I said, but I just wanted to give the community this video because the Seiko Turtle is indeed an icon. Always has been when it reintroduced and Seiko brought it to this level. I think it's still to this day offers some of the best value in the Seiko diver lineup. Sure, you can get the Willard, and I do agree the Willard is also very good value. But when push comes to shove, the Turtle, I think, is, you know what, the gone is the SKX, right? The Turtle really kind of replaced the SKX, in my opinion. Like it took its place, didn't replace it. It just kind of took its place in this time frame of Seiko divers. So, and they delivered with incredible lineup. So hopefully you have one. If you haven't, maybe you tried one and you let it go, you didn't like it, or just didn't resonate with you or whatever. If you want to try one again, maybe hit me up, because these are all going to be part of a insane offering coming soon. But it's going to be done differently. So, but I do sometimes reward the ambitious. So if there's something here that you have lusted after for a long time, oh my goodness. So that's some of them are like bluer colored. Most of them are green. But I'm going to do a Seiko Monster video. I'm going to do a Sumo video. I'm going to do a Samurai video. I'll gather them all up once I get them organized, and I will do those videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.